Welcome back to Geordie Retro Chasers. Welcome to my top 25 NES games. Hi everyone, welcome back to Chase HQ, welcome back to GRC, welcome back to Geordie Retro Chasers. A little bit of a break from the norm in this episode. So we aren't going to be going out in the wild in this one, but what we are going to be doing is looking at my 25, or certainly my top 25 Nintendo Entertainment System games. The Nintendo Entertainment System holds real fond memories with me. It was the first gaming console I was bought for as a child. It was the natural progression from the microcomputer, which obviously was huge in the UK. Before that, it was a Commodore 64 and a Spectrum ZX Plus, the grey one with the built-in tape deck. Then in 1990, give or take, when I was about in between, I would say 8 and 10, my parents bought me my first NES. And it was a system I fell in love with, for real nostalgic reasons. As you can probably see behind me, we have a few different variants, box ones. We've got the Super Mario 3, I've got the Mattel one up here, which is possibly a little bit out of shot, and we have the action set. So it is a real console that holds absolute nostalgia with me, and I'm really happy to share my 25 NES games. Okay, in total, I actually have 92 boxed NES games and then a whole host, probably 50 or 60 loose carts. So what I've done is, instead of going through, the 150 or whatever, 140 odd games I have, because that would have been real laborious. It's took me long enough to pick these ones, which are only 25. I'm already, what did I say in the last episode? I'm already 3 or 4 days late with this one. So that's why, if people who've seen my collection before, they'll say, oh, it's not even a fraction of his collection. But, if you want to go and see the rest of my collection, then please go and have a look at my Instagram, which is running across the bottom of the screen now. You'll find all, or if not most, of my collection on there. Let's get into it. Let's do my top 25 Nintendo Entertainment System games, starting with number 25. Okay, number 25. This is, although it's at the nonchalance of my list, are they in any particular order? Well, sort of. I did pick, the games I still play, and the ones that held real nostalgic for, so they're in some sort of order. But in at number 25, because I couldn't work out where to put this one, is WrestleMania Challenge. Back in 1990, when this was released, I was a major WWE/WWF fan. As we've seen in the previous episodes, when we've been out on the hunt, I love to pick up the old school figures. So to be able to bring the likes of, the Boss Man, Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, Andre the Giant, to be able to bring those home and play them on my home console was just something that completely and utterly blew my mind. So yeah, probably doesn't hold up well now, again with the new wrestling games, but one that I'm loved to play and one that I still play today. So in at 25 is WrestleMania Challenge. 24. Okay, so this list wouldn't be complete without a footy game in there. If you know me, you're probably watching this thinking, wow, so high up, but that's because, there is a plethora of games that I want to share. So this one snuck its way in at number 24. I'm still a massive football fan now, big Newcastle United fan, still go out and, I'm one of those douchebags who goes out and buys the new FIFA every year, pays the 40 quid for it. I know people will say all they do is upgrade the strips, but whatever. So, in at number 24 is Goal. To be honest with you, this and another football game, which I actually played before this, and maybe was it before or after this? Help me out in the comments below. Was Kickoff, where it was a top view, a top-down view footy game. This one was a little bit different. It was still a little bit of top-down, as we can pretty much see on the close-up here. Yeah, it was still a little bit of a top-down football game, but when in 1990, yeah, beggars couldn't be choosers. This was where it was at. This was the football game to have. This or Kickoff. So in at 24 is go. Number 23, and one of the most difficult games you will probably play even now as an adult. So if you warp your way back to 1990 or whenever it was, this game was absolutely solid. It was the pack-in title that I got with my NES, which is ironic because obviously I don't have it anymore. And that variant of NES is quite a rarity now, and it holds quite a lot of value. So, for us to own that as a child, and whatever happened to it, as we've said before in these episodes, it's given away or it's passed down and whatever. But in at 23 is the original Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, because we're in the UK. Unfortunately, it's not Ninja, but this game, even now, pretty much separates the men from the boys. It is a real difficult game, cross between a multi-platformer and almost like an open sandbox type game. As a 10-year-old boy, I didn't fully understand it, a lot of the gameplay, but back then I was a real Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or Hero Turtle fan. And to be honest with you, like I said, it was this and another game which will feature later on in the list that came with my NES. So that's why, again, a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for this game. Does it hold up today? Sort of. It's all right. It's still a half-decent platform. It's still pretty difficult, but there it is. In at number 23 is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 22 is probably the only shmup or shoot 'em up in the list. Now, if you, again, know me pretty well, you'll know that back in the day, my dad had a lot of stuff to do with amusement arcades. So that's where my love of shmups came from. The likes of, which are a bit later on, the likes of R-Type, 1942. They were all games that he had, when he was out doing his thing with the amusements. So that's why this one found its way into my list, and it is Gradius or Gradius, however you want to pronounce it. This is still, although it's quite, like I said, high up on the list, it is still a wicked shoot 'em up. If you haven't played it, I honestly suggest you go out and grab it and have a blast of it. One of the finer Konami titles on the NES. It snuck its way into number 22. It is Gradius. Over 1 million copies sold in Japan alone. No, I didn't look that up. It's written on the front of the box. Sorry, I'm trying not to blind you, but you can see close-ups here. So yeah, Gradius, great shout. 21. Okay, a game that it was a game I didn't really own as a child, but it's something that I've grew really fond of as an adult. And it does still hold up today. Without further ado, I'm going to give you a look at it, and it is Mario's Missing. So this is a bit of an educational game, and that's probably the main reason as to why I didn't own it as a kid. But you have to travel around the world looking for various different treasures, which then give you different clues to help you find your plumber brother. It's the first time, I'm pretty sure it was the first Luigi game solely based with just him, long before Luigi's Mansion and the other types of games featuring Luigi. One that actually I think I'll probably enjoy playing with my little girl. But yeah, it is a pretty decent little platformer. Well, when I say totally different, it's not totally different, but it is pretty different to your average Mario platformer. One, if you've never played it, I would recommend checking it out. But did it come on the mini NES? I think maybe it did. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I do have one downstairs on the shelf. But yeah, Mario's missing. Definitely go check it out. Definitely one worth having a little play. One that I'm pretty happy to put on my list. Okay, finally, number 20. Okay guys, sliding his way down my screen into the number 20 spot, Dr. Mario. Okay, so, little story about Dr. Mario. The first time I played this game was when I went on a family holiday to Florida. My parents, I was lucky enough to be taken to Disney World, and we stayed in a place called Kissimmee. You know, if you've been to Florida, you'll be pretty sure of what I'm talking about. And we went to a local video store, and inside that video store they had consoles which tourists could rent, and one of the consoles that they had you could rent was an NES system. So my dad rented me an NES system, and it came with the obligatory Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers 1 double cart with the zapper. And the other game that it came with was Dr. Mario. Now, I had seen Dr. Mario in the stores and in video stores back home, and I had never really fancied it. But when you are, you know, slim pickings, and that was the 3 games it came with, so I set about playing Dr. Mario, and I have to say, I absolutely loved it. If you like a game of Tetris, or, you know, if you're in that type of mood for a good puzzle game, which is really simple but really effective, Dr. Mario is where it's at. All you got to simply do is match the colours of the pills to kill the certain bacteria or germs or whatever they are. Obviously building up the screen just like Tetris before the time runs out. So the last game on this video for this episode is Dr. Mario in at number 20. Okay guys, so that is 20 to 25 of my top 25 NES games. But before I let you go, before the next episode, I do think there should be an obligatory mention for 3 titles which didn't quite make its way into my top 25. The reason being is 2 of them are very samey, so we'll have a quick look at them now. Now, because we already included 1 wrestling game, I didn't want to include these 2. So if you disagree with me in the comments and you think I should have replaced that with one of these 2, then let me know. The first one is WrestleMania. I think this was the original wrestling game to be released on the NES system. And then I think the latter one is Steel Cage Challenge. So because the WrestleMania Challenge made it into the 25, unfortunately these 2 did not. So again, like I said, if you disagree, pop it in the comments, let me know your opinion. And the last one, which unfortunately didn't quite make it into the top 25, was Blades of Steel. You know, it really should have made its way in there, but there's so much competition. It was just pipped and just squeezed out of the end. But there was nothing better than absolutely kicking the shit out of your mate. And I mean, on the computer game, not in real life. Yeah, still stands up to this day. Still great fun to play, but unfortunately, just misses out on the top 25. But I thought it should have an obligatory shout out. Big shout out, Blades of Steel. Okay guys, that is it for this volume. That is 20 to 25 done, or 25 to 20 I should have said, done on the NES collection. Thanks for tuning in once again. Hope you have a great couple of days. We'll see you very soon. Peace.